A clear view at the Tavern of Fine Arts. That's next on City Corner. I'm Steve Potter and welcome to City Corner. We're talking about a photography exhibition that's currently up at the Tavern of Fine Arts. I'd like to introduce you to Erin Johnson, the owner of Tavern of Fine Arts, and also Tiffany Weigel is here. She's with a group called Women in Focus St. Louis. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And Erin, for people that aren't familiar with Tavern of Fine Arts, how long have you been around?
We have been around just over 4 years. We celebrated our 4-year anniversary on August 1st.
Now you're located on Belt, which is somewhere in the De Bolivar Central West End area. How do you describe that?
It's in the De Bolivar Place neighborhood. We're just off of Pershing between Union and De Bolivar. So very close to the park, not too far from where we are right now.
And what's the whole concept of Tavern of Fine Arts? It's interesting.
Well, the whole concept is that we are trying to, well, not trying, but doing, we're bringing together different artistic expressions, visual art, musical arts, poetic arts, and bringing that in with great food and wine. So we're many things at once. We're a wine bar, a restaurant, an art gallery, and a performing space for primarily classical chamber music, but also jazz, experimental music, and poetry.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit more. I was looking at your lineup. You really do have a variety of things, even more than you've mentioned.
Yes, we really do. It's hard to squeeze it all in.
Tiffany, you're a photographer. Are you what we call a professional photographer?
Professional photographer. Well, let's see. Yes, that is how I make my living, so that would be a professional photographer. I freelance on my own, and then I run the group here, Women in Focus.
Let's talk about it. Women in Focus St. Louis. This is a group that has existed in other cities, but it's relatively new here. Tell me about the organization, where it began.
So Women in Focus is down in Atlanta, Georgia, and Atlanta has a huge photography community. They have ACP every year, photography festival, all fall. And when I was living there, I wanted to get into some kind of photo group. And I found this group, and it was just all women, which is very rare. It's getting more common now, but it was at the time very rare. They've been around for 22 years, and I was with them for 3 years, and I participated in about 12 or 13 shows. So as a group, they do exhibitions all over town. After that, I moved to Chicago and immediately was looking for something similar, and believe it or not, third largest city in the country, there was not a female-only, at the time, photo group.
It's almost surprising.
Yes. So I entered a juried show and got in, and at the opening met, it was Chicago Photography Center there, and met the president of the board, Karen, and I was telling her about Women in Focus down in Atlanta. I said, it's so great, there's nothing like that here. She said, well, why don't you start it? And I said, oh, I don't know. So with her help and with Chicago Photography Center, we started it there and had monthly meetings. They're still going strong. In May, they celebrated 1 year. They have exploded. They have about 65 members already. And they've done, in just over a year, 5 or 6 shows.
So is the group just about I guess, promoting women photographers, basically?
Women photographers. And then when I moved here, I said, you know what, that worked really well in Chicago. I'm going to right away do something here in St. Louis.
And you've just been here like a year or something, right?
Yes, a year in October. So I formed it in January, and we have 25 members, and we just opened our 3rd show at Tavern of Fine Arts. And what we do is we are just a group of women. There's amateurs in the group, there's seasoned professionals. Some of us are in our early 20s, some of us, not me, some of us are much older, a wide range.
You mean a little older?
Just a few years. but we get together once a month. We have our meetings once a month at the Kirkwood Public Library, and we have guest speakers who come in and do presentation. We allow men to come in to be guest speakers occasionally. But
not too often.
Not too often.
Okay.
We do field trips where we get together as a group, because a lot of times when you are a working photographer, you don't really take out that camera for fun. It's all about,
Right.
the clients and the job. So we do group field trips where we'll go out and, in the fall, we're going to go to this cemetery and just do really creative, fun things.
Right.
We have a monthly theme photo that we put on our Facebook page. It's about just supporting other women photographers.
Erin, you talked about different kind of arts that you promote at Tavern of Fine Arts. Had you ever done a photography exhibit before?
We have shown some photography in the past, not to this extent. I think we have almost 70 pieces in this show. And
73.
73.
Wow.
And it came together beautifully. Just thinking about having so many different photographers, so many different styles, but just to see the entire thing compiled the way it is, it just looks like everything was meant to be there.
And Tiffany, why do you feel that there was a need, or is important to have a group like this, specifically aimed at women? Why is that important?
I think there is a lot less women photographers than men, first of all.
Just overall, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, especially professionals. I wanted an environment where we could come together and be friends, and be a non-competitive environment. We can share ideas and stories, and that's what we do. We have our private Facebook group page where we all communicate all the time. One lady will post, "Hey, I have a wedding this weekend. I need an assistant, and is anybody free? Want to join me?" Or, "I have a baby shower I was supposed to shoot. I can't make it. Does anybody want the job?" Or, "What's your favorite kind of lens for this assignment I have coming up?" Or, "I have a Photoshop question. Can anybody help me out?" It's just a collaborative group, and we're just supporting each other artistically and professionally.
I would think, tell me if I'm right, with today's technology and everything, everyone's a photographer. I'm not saying a good one, but anybody with a phone is a photographer. So is it harder these days to make a living as a photographer than it used to be, do you think?
I don't think so, because everybody's a photographer, but there is a skill there. There is a technical skill, and although there's a few photos in the show, Liz actually shoots all of her stuff on iPhone, and they're beautiful.
No kidding, really?
They're beautiful. But, the iPhone takes amazing pictures. I think it's easy for anybody to, sure, but still to get hired in the big jobs, there's a lot more to it.
But there are jobs out there.
There's marketing, and there's a business aspect to it, and there's keeping relationship with the clients, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Erin, when did you first learn of Women in Focus? How did that come to your attention? And did it grab you immediately, or what about it drew you to it?
Well, my partner Matt, who's also my cousin, he's Matt Daniels. He's the co-owner with me, and he takes care of most of the art installations and booking the shows. So it was through him that I learned about the group, and he showed me some images, and right away I knew that this was going to be a great show.
So Tiffany, the women in your group, Women in Focus, can any woman with an interest in photography join? Or you said something about being juried earlier. Do they have to take a test?
No,
or
not at all, not at all. Anybody that's interested can go to our website, which is womeninfocusstlouis.com, and we meet the second Monday of each month, and you can show up your first meeting. We have a one-time annual membership fee of $30, but your first meeting, you just come and listen and see if you're interested, and then you're in. I mean, there's no test. It's just about showing up and participating.
Someone that doesn't know anything about it but's interested in it could start there.
Oh, definitely,
right?
Definitely. But we want you to be a photographer,
right,
to be actively taking photos.
So we have this show. It's up now and runs through November the 30th, and you call it A Clear View. What does that mean?
A clear view. It's interesting when you're trying to come up for a theme for a show and you have so many different artists. It's sort of just which one what is our interpretation is each person. My view is just peace and breathing and being present. So I did portraits of yoga. She's in the group as well, Lisa. but I wanted to do her doing beautiful yoga poses in Forest Park and being present and breathing. It's just whatever, but everyone's point of view is a clear view.
So there's 73 images in this show, I think you said. How many photographers does that represent?
17.
17
we have 25
photographers.
members, but 17 are participating in this show. And it's our third one of the year, but it's our biggest. And it was so big, I was almost worried that we didn't have enough wall space, because I told everybody they could have 5 pieces. And it was a little stressful hanging it, but it worked out. It's put together beautifully. You have to go in and see it.
I will. I have until November 30th, right?
You do.
Aaron, Tiffany said something about wall space, and you have other things going on there. Can you describe your facility there at Tavern of Fine Arts? I mean, how many rooms, how many square feet? What can you tell me about it?
Well, we have 2 separate rooms. There's what we call the bar room, where the bar is, and there's some tables in that room. We also have what we call the salon. And the salon is where the performances take place. That's where the stage is. That's where the Women in Focus show is hung, in the salon. So we have seating for about, in both rooms, maybe 75 to 80 people. Mm-hmm. In the bar room, we actually have another show, art show, simultaneously. It's some wonderful photography by Marin Leonard, and she's doing really interesting things with light boxes. Mm-hmm. And she calls it mid-century modern kitsch. So it's images, photography of old cars from the 1950s, signs, old architecture from the mid-century that she prints on plexiglass in different layers, and then illuminates them from behind with LED lights in these beautifully made wooden boxes.
They're gorgeous.
And so those line the walls in the bar room, and it's really neat at night when the lights are down low and the art is turned on. It's our first art show that we have to turn on and off every day.
Tiffany, when Aaron was mentioning light boxes, you were shaking your head like you knew what he was talking about.
Well, I've seen them.
Yeah, explain that to me. I don't know what that is.
Well, she has built wood boxes, and so she prints the photos on the, like you said, the plexiglass, and they're lit, and there's literally a switch on the side, and they light from inside. They're gorgeous. A lot of like 1950s sort of.
Yes, yeah, just images that.
And she looks like that too. She's a beautiful young girl, and she's in the big dress at the opening. She's just, and she asked to join our group, so that's we have another member.
So at the Tavern of Fine Arts too, I think you're open like every day. So is there something going on like every day all the time?
Well, we're every day except Sunday. We're closed on Sunday, but we have some sort of entertainment or event happening every day, whether it's a musical performance or poetry reading or figure drawing that we do once a month, all sorts of different things. Again, our focus is classical chamber music, but we do so many more things other than that.
All right, but we're here to talk about A Clear View, which is a show Women in Focus has put up at Tavern of Fine Arts. We're going to take a break. When we come back, you've brought some images from the show with you. We're going to share those with our viewers. So we'll be back with more City Corner right after this.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
The odds of this daughter of a clergyman spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org.
I'm Steve Potter. Welcome back to City Corner. We're talking about a photography exhibit that's now up at the Tavern of Fine Arts. So with us is Aaron Johnson of the Tavern of Fine Arts and Tiffany Weigel of the group Women in Focus St. Louis, which is a group of women photographers who promote each other in their work, I guess is the best way to put it, right, Tiffany?
Yes.
And this current exhibition of photography, 70-odd photographs you're calling A Clear View, up until November the 30th. Aaron, is this exhibit different in any way from what you've done before?
Well, in a number of ways, I suppose, yes, it is. First of all, the number of participants in the show. Typically, in a show, our art shows run for 3 months at a time, so 4 a year. Typically, we'll show anywhere between 2 and 4 artists in both rooms combined.
Wow.
And here we have, 17 in one room, and 18 if we include Marin in the bar room. So it's certainly, one of the things we love to do is give opportunities to artists, whether it's visual artists or performers, musicians, etc. And just to be able to give that many photographers an opportunity to show really makes us feel good about what we're doing. And a lot of our art that we do show is paintings, drawings, etc. So we have done photography in the past, as I've said, but never on this scale, I don't think.
So Tiffany, just to recap, you've lived a couple different places. You got this idea, where'd you say, from Atlanta?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, and you took it to Chicago and started it there. Then when you moved to St. Louis a year ago, you did it here.
Yes.
And it's taking off. Why don't we look at some of these images that are up right now at the Tavern of Fine Arts, and you can tell us a little bit about the artist and about what we're looking at. So we'll check out the first one. This is up right now at the Tavern of Fine Arts.
Okay, this is titled Two Zebras, and this is Karen Libby.
Would that be from the St. Louis Zoo, or do we know that?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
What do you like about that
gorgeous,
as a
though.
photographer? What strikes me is just, the movement of the stripes and the color contrast. I'm no professional photographer, though. What do you like about it?
Well, I love how they're facing different ways, and I think some people would think, oh, you can't see the other zebra's face, but that's what makes it so cool, how they're kind of combined, kind of intertwined.
And Karen also has another photograph of 2 giraffes in a similar pose, but just I think the 2 really work well together. The composition seems to flow from one to the next.
Let's go to the next image.
This is Dana Pomeroy, and it's titled Caged.
Looks a little spooky.
Yeah, this is a self-portrait of her, actually. She does really phenomenal work. All of her images are very dreamy.
Does she have a message there that you know of?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know.
I
but
thought maybe she
caged
told
and then
you.
she's free. No, she didn't tell me, but if I had to
Things
guess,
they keep secret.
if I had to guess, which is what art is about, right?
Right.
The flowing of her hair, she looks pretty free, and she doesn't look too caged. She's got that tiny little cage in her hand.
Right.
But she's wonderful. She's probably our youngest member in the group, actually, and she does just phenomenal work. She's already had a solo show on her own.
Let's look at one more.
This is Tricia Coyle. I love this piece. This is the largest piece that's up right now. It's right by the piano. It looks like it belongs there. It's called Imperfections. And Tricia does some really neat things with her work. They're all photographs, of course, but then there's obviously some editing going on. This piece is huge. It's 33 1/4 by 49 inches. And you have to see it in person. This isn't doing it justice.
I used to think, I'm from the old school, back when professional photographers always worked in black and white. That's probably before your day, Tiffany.
No, not really.
But I don't know, that's not so true anymore, is it?
Oh no, I mean, I think when digital came along, everything changed.
But the reason that it brought it to mind, not just was it in black and white, but it just had it almost looked like a shot out of the 40s or something, didn't it?
Yes, I do a lot of black and white still, digitally, but I love it. It just has a noir feeling to it. So.
And how do you feel as a photographer when about photoshopping and thing? I've talked to a lot of different photographers. Some are more willing to mess with things than others.
I love it. I think it's all part of it. It's the darkroom of today, and it's difficult. It's not easy to go in and it's a program that I'm constantly, learning.
See, well, set me right, because I thought, people are taking the easy way out. If they're photoshopping, they're taking something and making it better rather than taking the perfect photograph. So
No.
I'm wrong.
I think it's a misconception, because when you go out in my opinion, and you shoot a project, you may shoot for an hour or two, but then you go back and there's a lot of editing because you're shooting 300-400 photos. You have to go through all of those photos and, you know, start the editing process. And then post-production is, you know, sometimes can take more time than the actual, you know, shooting out there. So we were going back to everybody's a photographer, sure, but there's a lot, you know, behind it.
Yeah, how about you, Aaron? You ever try it?
I started with black and white photography when I was in middle school, actually. So, you know, back in the days of film, before digital, and I always loved it. And when digital came along, I sort of continued to love it and take pictures. Certainly nothing professional, but just as a hobby.
You won't have your own exhibition at the Tavern of Fine Arts, will you?
I don't think so. Not anytime
I think
soon.
you should.
Probably could. I know a guy. I could probably get in there.
Yeah.
Let's look at some more of the work, Women in Focus's work. A Clear View is the name of the show at the Tavern of Fine Arts. Let's take a look at this next one. Boy, that almost looks like a painting.
Yes, this is titled Jerusalem Artichokes. Is that correct? This is Jane Crouch, and she's, I mean, her work is, look at it, it's phenomenal. It's, gosh, those colors are just amazing.
Like I say, it doesn't even look like a photograph to me.
No, it doesn't. But they all are photographs. I promise you that.
Let's look at the next
It's
one.
gorgeous. This is Kathleen O'Donnell, Truck in Infrared, she titled it. Kathleen O'Donnell is a new member. She is a Photoshop teacher here in town. She does her own workshops, and we're so lucky to have her. We had her as a guest speaker to one of our meetings, and then she asked if she could join, and we were like, of course. So she has 5 pieces up all in black and white, and I just love that.
I do too.
It's amazing.
Let's look at one more.
This is Ripples. This is Kelly Burchett. Kelly's amazing. When we had our first meeting, I had 5 women show up when I was nervous, and Kelly has been there from day one. So, and she's always the first one there because she comes straight from work. So she's my steady member.
Do you find that when you get to know a photographer that you can, after you get to know them and their work, you can kind of pick out their work? Does everyone sort of, maybe even unconsciously, sort of develop a theme or a style?
I think so. Especially in this group. I'm more portraiture, but a lot of women specialize in other areas.
Aaron, before we look at more images from the show, I just want to ask you a couple things about the tavern. And you were talking earlier about the different kinds of things that you offer there. You said, I guess you started, or you're kind of known for chamber music. But I was looking at your lineup too, and you certainly had that. And but I also saw something, and just explain it briefly to me. You had one date where you had figure drawing.
Yes, the first Wednesday of every month we have a figure drawing session. Starting at 6:30, runs from about 6:30 to 9:30, and it's a group. It's a painting and drawing meetup group meet there, and they come. They bring a model. It's always costumed, some sort of interesting costume, and they sit around and draw for 3 hours and have some wine, some food, and enjoy themselves.
You also have cabaret there on occasion. I love cabaret.
Yes.
And I have to give a friend of mine a plug because Salt of the Earth is going to be there on November the 14th, and Mike Strand is a friend of mine, and he's been a long-time member of Salt of the Earth.
I'm looking forward to that.
We'll look forward to that. Let's go back and look at some more of the images in A Clear View, which is now at the Tavern of Fine Arts. Tiffany?
This was taken, this is called Light the Night by Kim Wolterman. This was taken over at the Botanical Gardens during the Lantern Festival, which I think just finished. But so we had a field trip, the group, and we went over at night, on photographer's night, actually. And
Yeah, that'd be
had
a
blast.
photographer's dream place, wouldn't it be? Botanical Garden?
It was a night just open for photogs, and everybody took you could take your tripod in there, and it was awesome.
Let's go to the next one. I know, Tiffany, we have one of yours in here somewhere.
That's not it.
That's not it.
This is Lisa Fioretti. It's titled Connection. And Lisa is actually my model in my shot when that comes up.
Oh, really?
She does beautiful work, though.
Let's go.
Everybody does.
Let's move along.
This is Lola. Leland, and this is titled Winter Road.
I hate to say this, but we're going to be seeing that before too long here in St. Louis.
I know. It's so beautiful right now, and it's so muggy and hot outside, but she does gorgeous work.
Very serene. You kind of meditate and look at that one.
Oh, I love this one. Gateway Arch Reflected. This is Susan Standish. And can you see the reflection of the arch in the puddle there?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Really neat.
Yeah, this is part of a series of, I think, 4 photographs that she did, all of St. Louis monuments.
Printed on metal.
Printed on metal, and the color just really pops.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're beautiful pieces.
I believe we have one more.
That is my piece. That's
You saved
Lisa.
the best for last, Tiffany.
Thank
I
you
wanted
so
to
much.
tell you that.
This I titled Open, and that we took on the at the front entrance of the art museum over in Forest Park.
What inspires you, Tiffany?
What inspires me? You know, I seem to have a reoccurring theme. I like to shoot women. I think women are beautiful, and I like, I call it intimate portraiture. And I do all kinds of photography, but I love one-on-one portraits.
In a few moments, we're going to have information about Tavern come up, and we're also going to have your website. If people go to your website, what will they find?
They will find a variety of things. They will find family portraits, newborn babies, a lot of pictures of my child, my little boy, and then my fine art stuff that really fulfills me creatively.
And a final word about that if there's a woman out there interested in photography, they should find out about your group, Women in Focus St. Louis, and maybe come to a regular meeting.
Yes, we have a Facebook page, and we also have our website, womeninfocusstlouis.com. Either way.
And Aaron, always something going on at the Tavern of Fine Arts.
Always, yes. If you go to our website, just Google Tavern of Fine Arts. You can click on the events tab and see everything that's coming up.
You know, Lagaya Figueres is a friend of mine. Haven't I read about you in Sauce Magazine a couple times?
She has mentioned us a few times in Sauce Magazine. She's always been a big supporter of us, and it's great to have her behind us.
Well, Anthony Johnson, Tiffany Weigel, thank you both for being here. Beautiful work and a beautiful venue.
Thank you.
So we encourage people to come out and see it. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Potter. That's all the time we have for this edition of City Corner. Thanks for watching, and join us next time. Bye.